boy, those clouds are rolling in. Hey there, from the KUOW newsroom. This is Seattle Now. I'm Patricia Murphy with a roundup of today's top stories. It's Thursday, October 23rd. We're learning today that some of the companies helping pay for President Trump's controversial White House ballroom project are based in the Seattle area. The Seattle Times reports Amazon, Microsoft, and T-Mobile are among some 40 donors pitching in on the $300 million project. T-Mobile says it donated to the Trust for the National Mall, which backs historic landmark projects. The company says it has no role in how those funds are used. So far, no comment to the Times from Amazon or Microsoft. Washington State University argued before the state Supreme Court that it should not have been found liable for a student's 2019 hazing death. Ann Dornfeld reports.
Sam Martinez was a 19-year-old from Bellevue. He died on a Gamma Chi fraternity couch after he and another pledge were told to drink half a gallon of rum. Justice G. Helen Whitener questioned Wazoo attorney Nicholas Ulrich.
You're saying there's no liability because the student and what occurred was off campus.
Correct, because the university has no ability to control under Barlow the off-campus activities of students.
But attorney Rebecca Rowe argued on the family's behalf that Wazoo knew about the alcohol abuse and hazing that went on at Gamma Chi and could have informed families or shut it down.
You have a long-standing relationship, you have specialized knowledge of the danger, and you have the ability to control it.
The lower court's ruling was the first time a Washington university was found liable for a student's hazing death. Ann Dornfeld, KUOW News.
We should get a better picture soon about whether National Guard troops could be deployed in Portland. A U.S. district judge has set a 10 a.m. hearing tomorrow on whether to keep her order in place that bars federal deployment. Oregon and Portland city officials both oppose any Guard deployment. They argue President Trump has called for the action based on a false narrative of a war-ravaged city. Other big news out of Portland today. The head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Chauncey Billups, was arrested as part of an FBI gambling probe. Billups is accused of participating in a conspiracy to fix high-stakes card games tied to organized crime. The scheme allegedly cheated gamblers out of at least $7 million. Billups was placed on leave by the NBA. He's been the Trail Blazers head coach since 2021. Seattle School Board says it expects to announce its pick for the district's next superintendent by November 5th. Board members interviewed 2 finalists yesterday, but they're still not saying publicly yet who those people are. Interim Superintendent Fred Podesta has been filling the role since former Superintendent Brent Jones went on medical leave and announced he was stepping down. The University of Washington's medical school has scrapped a question related to diversity on its admissions forms. UW's student newspaper, The Daily, reports the forms asked applicants about what perspectives or identities they'd bring to the school. A UW medicine spokesperson says the decision to drop that question was tied to compliance with university policy and state and federal laws. The school says the question was originally intended to inspire self-reflection among applicants, not to disclose any characteristics that identified them. Washington regulators want your thoughts on jet fuel that could be made from things like oil seeds or greases. Northwest Public Broadcasting's Courtney Flatt has more on that story.
Washington wants to figure out how to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from flying. Lawmakers tasked the State Department of Ecology with studying potential or likely environmental impacts of making and distributing sustainable aviation fuels. But not everyone is on board. Longview resident Diane Dick had this to say at a public comment session.
The only way to reduce jet fuel emissions is for people to understand they need to fly less.
The study is eventually meant to be a resource for possible future biofuels projects in Washington. Ecology is taking comments from now to November 5th. I'm Courtney Flatt.
Now our feature story today. In just 2 weeks, voters will choose a new leader for King County government for the first time in 16 years. It's an important election, but Scott Greenstone finds few people know what the King County executive does.
It's a bright, crisp October Sunday at Bellevue's downtown park. A perfect day for a social media post, except for the wind. Some middle schoolers are doing a TikTok dance. Someone's running and filming by the fountain. Then there's this guy.
My name is Gurmai Zahalai, and I'm running for King County Executive, and the first question people always ask me is, what the hell is that?
Zahalai is giving people chocolate chip cookies if they can tell him what a King County Executive is. Most people,
I'm not sure.
Even a couple of Bellevue police,
Man, that's embarrassing. I'm not from here.
Can't tell him.
A King County Executive, I'm assuming, would be like a judicial branch type, like a judge for the county.
Really close. It is a government position.
Yeah.
Someone else says a county council member, also close. That's the position Zahalai holds right now. He tells one park goer his story. His family came to Seattle when he was a kid. Refugees from Sudan, they lived in homeless shelters and public housing here. Executive would be a big promotion for Zahalai. The top official in a county of 2 million, the executive runs the county sheriff, public health, jail, and much more. It's a huge job, managing a nearly $20 billion budget, including funding for mental health and drug treatment. But if trends hold, less than half of registered voters in King County will cast a vote for that job next month. Zahalai says at his own fundraisers, around half attending often don't know what the position they're supporting him for does.
That is not a position that's in any movies, in any TV shows. Only political insiders have heard that, and I'm trying to change that.
Local government jobs like mayor and governor exist pretty much anywhere in the U.S., but county executives' jobs vary greatly state to state, or sometimes even county to county. In some places, they're not even called executives.
Some go by county mayors. Some go by judges. Their title's a judge.
Dan McCoy is president of County Executives of America and also Albany County Executive in New York. Once he visited a tiny town in his county along with the mayor of that town.
And they go, oh, mayor, here's a seat at the front of the room for you. And they put me in the back, and I'm chuckling. And I'm just like, okay.
But around here, chances are you interact with the biggest system the county runs every day. King County wastewater treatment.
I've been told by political consultants not to talk about sewers on the campaign trail.
This is Claudia Balducci, another county council member who is the other top contender for county executive.
But it is the biggest capital investment we make is in those pipes and those treatment plants and the pump stations.
Instead of sewers, Balducci talks more about the county bus system. She's waiting for the A-line bus into Quilla right now. It's after midnight as we board. We're riding late because a bus driver in the union suggested Balducci see what it's like. For 12 a.m., it's surprisingly full.
These are not baseball fans. These are people coming home from work. This is a workhorse route.
Driving and operating these buses at this time of night is perhaps the most dangerous job at the county. A driver named Sean Yim was stabbed to death last year. Balducci called for a task force to make changes, adding stronger barriers on driver screens and hiring more transit police. Balducci's pitch to voters is that she's been in elected office more than 20 years. On Bellevue City Council, then County Council, she's helped get affordable housing built and bring light rail to the east side. She and Zahalai are both progressive Democrats with similar visions for King County.
But you need somebody who can run this big agency, run it well, take those visions and make them into reality. That means driving change through a big bureaucracy.
Balducci has criticized Zahalai for floating ideas that haven't come to fruition, like a county bank or closing the youth jail. Zahalai says he's open to studying big ideas rather than settling for the status quo. In almost 6 years on county council, he has passed money for gun violence prevention and helped pass a crisis care levy. And so far, voters seem to be resonating more with him. Zahalai was 14 points ahead of Balducci in the primary. Voters have the final say on November 4th. Scott Greenstone, KUOW News.
Next time on Seattle Now, it's Casual Friday. We'll talk about the Amazon Web Services outage and just how many apps and websites were down as a result. Microsoft Office was on there, Venmo, Lyft on the list, Hinge was down. That could mess up your Monday plans.
That's why no matches. Yeah.
Hear more tomorrow morning. And that's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Andy Hurst, and I'm Patricia Murphy. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See ya.